That bar of soap lathering up in your shower right now? Synthetic detergent. The same category of industrial chemistry in your dishwasher and your laundry machine, compressed into a bar shape. Fragrance to smell like what you remember soap smelling like. I went through the FDA regulatory filings, the ingredient patents, and the supply chain for every major bar brand in America. What I found is that the industry quietly switched from making soap to making synthetic detergent bars sometime in the mid-20th century, and then kept calling it soap because nothing in federal law required them to stop. Irish Spring knows it. Dove knows it. That's why they call theirs a beauty bar. All the big brands do it. None of them say soap because none of them legally can, and they've been counting on you not noticing. But there are real soap options, even ones at Walmart right now for the same price as the Irish Spring 12-pack. Subscribe. Let's check what's actually in the bar. Dial has been in American bathrooms since 1948, longer than most of its customers have been alive. That kind of longevity builds a specific kind of trust. You buy it because your parents bought it, the price is right, and it smells exactly like what you expect. But it's not soap. Dial's first ingredient is sodium lauryl isethionate, a synthetic detergent derived from petrochemical precursors, manufactured because it produces a richer lather than real soap at a significantly lower production cost. That cost difference is the whole reason the industry switched. Saponification requires quality oils and time. Synthetic detergents are cheaper, faster, and easier to scale. And the trade-off lands on your skin. Synthetic surfactants clean by stripping, pulling grime off efficiently, but without distinguishing between the dirt you want removed and the natural lipid barrier your skin depends on. Dermatologists consistently find that synthetic detergent bars cause more moisture loss after washing than traditional soap. That tight, dry feeling after you shower, that's not clean, that's compromised. Dial's label says cleansing bar because that's what the law requires when you can't say soap. It's worked for decades because most people read the brand name and assume the rest. That's number 7. Number 6 has been in your kid's bathroom since the 1970s, 12 bars at a time, and it's never been soap either. Irish Spring is the brand that gets bought 12 bars at a time at Costco because the per-bar price math looks genuinely good at warehouse scale. And the math is real. You're getting a lot of bars for the money. What you're not getting is soap. Irish Spring calls itself a deodorant bar, not because that's a marketing flourish. It's because the moment you add an active deodorant ingredient to a product, you've created a cosmetic under FDA regulation. And cosmetics can't be classified as soap. The deodorant claim that sounds like a selling point is also the legal explanation for why the word soap is nowhere on the label. They added a feature that legally prevented them from calling it what you assumed it was. Worth knowing before your next Costco run, Kirk's Castile Bar Soap, made with coconut oil through actual saponification, is sitting at Walmart in a 4-pack for around $6. Per bar, it's within pennies of Irish Spring. Real soap, shorter ingredient list than this sentence. The grocery store cheat sheet in our description has the price comparison already done, so you're not running math at the shelf. Soap tip number 1. Flip any bar over and look for beauty bar, cleansing bar, or deodorant bar. If those words appear instead of soap, you're holding a synthetic detergent product the brand legally cannot call soap. They're counting on you not noticing the difference. Ivory is the one brand on this list that was actually soap. Genuinely. Since 1879, Procter & Gamble made it with traditional saponification, real oils, real lye, the chemical reaction that produces actual soap and natural glycerin. The 99 and 44 over 100% pure slogan wasn't marketing fiction. A chemist calculated that number in the 1800s by testing the bar against the gold standard of Castile soap and finding only 0.56% impurities. It floated because the saponification process trapped air in the bar. The floating was proof the chemistry was right. And then, they changed it. Sometime recently, quietly, without announcement, Procter & Gamble reformulated Ivory. Consumers who'd used it for decades started noticing the bar no longer floats. The wrapper slides off instead of clings. The texture is denser. The 99 and 44 over 100% pure language has been dropped from current packaging. The manufacturing moved to Colombia. The reviews on retail sites document the discovery in real time. People writing that the soap they've trusted since childhood feels different, smells different, and sinks. Procter & Gamble hasn't explained the change. The brand that built its entire 140-year identity on the word pure made a formula change and said nothing to the people whose trust that word had accumulated. You've just watched 3 brands fail the soap test. Here's why none of them are actually soap. Real soap is the product of one chemical reaction, saponification. You take a fat or an oil, coconut, olive, or tallow, combine it with lye, and those 2 ingredients transform into something entirely new, soap molecules and glycerin. The soap molecules lift grease and grime off your skin. The glycerin keeps it soft afterward. It's not an additive, it's a natural byproduct of the process. Real soap moisturizes because the chemistry produces it automatically. Commercial detergent bar manufacturers figured out they could extract that glycerin before the bar ships and sell it to the skincare industry, where it shows up as a primary ingredient in premium lotions at a significant markup. So they strip out the thing that made soap gentle, replace it with synthetic conditioning agents, slap a moisturizing claim on the front, and charge you a premium for getting back a chemical version of what real soap already had. Then the same company, like Unilever, also sells you the lotion. They're one business model running in 2 directions. You wash, your skin loses moisture, you reach for the lotion, they collect both sales. Olay took the detergent bar and dressed it in medical language so effective that it became a clinical recommendation. Dermatologist tested doesn't mean dermatologist recommended, and it doesn't mean the formula outperforms real soap. It means a dermatologist confirmed it didn't cause a reaction in a controlled setting. That's a very low bar printed in very prominent type on the box. The Olay Beauty Bar's first active cleansing ingredient is sodium lauryl isethionate, the same synthetic detergent leading Dove and Dial. The moisturizing system is built on glycerin, dimethicone, and a collection of synthetic emollients that are nearly identical to what Dove calls their quarter moisturizing cream. It's the same detergent bar category as everything above it on this list, differentiated only by the box and the price point, not by the chemistry. Olay's version costs roughly twice what a bar of Kirk's Castile bar costs per ounce, and the Ultra Moisture claim describes synthetic conditioners doing what saponification would have provided for free. The clinical packaging is doing marketing work, not medical work. And for some people with specific skin sensitivities, a dermatologist genuinely did recommend it, because sometimes a synthetic detergent bar is gentler for a specific skin condition than a harsh real soap. That's real. But the Olay on your average shower shelf isn't a medical product. It's a beauty bar in a lab coat. That's number 4. Number 3 is the middle shelf version of this exact same formula. Softsoap sits at the price point that makes it look like the reasonable adult decision, not the cheap industrial option, not the premium indulgence, just the sensible middle shelf bar that seems like exactly the right call. The moisturizing claim on the front is the same fake chemical conditioning agents added back into the formula after the natural glycerin was extracted during production. Think about that loop for a moment. The same process that strips your skin's natural moisture is what generates the need for the moisturizing claim on the label. Softsoap is selling you one end of a problem it helped create. The product works, but the sensible adult decision and the real soap decision are 2 different things, and the packaging is designed to make them feel identical. Soap tip number 2. Look for saponified anywhere on the ingredient list. Real soap uses saponified oils, saponified coconut, olive, or palm oil. That word means the chemical reaction actually happened. If you don't see saponified or an alkali salt of a fatty acid like sodium cocotte, you're looking at a detergent bar, not real soap. Silkening, renewing, daily silk, not a single word about cleaning. Caress doesn't use any language about getting you clean, just silk, renewal, and a sensory experience in a bar shape. Here's your aha moment. When you reach for something in the soap aisle, you're not consciously choosing between soap and detergent. You think you're buying soap. The category is called soap. It's in the soap aisle. It looks like soap and it smells like soap and it lathers like soap. Most people read silkening bar and think, oh, a nice soap with moisturizing benefits. Not, oh, a synthetic detergent bar whose formula legally prevents it from being called soap. The Caress formula is sodium lauryl isethionate with dimethicone and a premium fragrance system. A detergent bar with a luxury scent experience and a steep price. It isn't soap. Nobody buying it at the drugstore knows it isn't soap. And Caress has never once been required to tell them. That's number 2. Number 1 built an entire skincare empire on the same chemistry. Dove is number 1. Not because its formula is uniquely worse than the others, it isn't, but because Dove represents the detergent bar business model at its most complete and most profitable expression. Dove's parent company is Unilever. Unilever also owns Vaseline, St. Ives, Simple, Pond's, and a portfolio of premium skincare brands whose primary active ingredient is glycerin. The glycerin extracted during Dove's bar production doesn't disappear. It moves across the Unilever portfolio and reappears in moisturizing products sold at a premium to the same customers who bought the bar that removed it. You wash with Dove. Your skin loses moisture. You reach for the Vaseline or the St. Ives lotion. Unilever collects both transactions. Their own website confirmed this years ago. One of the reasons our beauty bars are unlike soap is because they don't contain harsh sulfates. Unlike soap, not hiding it, marketing it. The bar that isn't soap creates the dry skin condition that the moisturizer corrects, and the same company sells you both at every price point from the drugstore to the department store counter. Soap tip number 3. Real soap costs the same as the detergent bar you've been buying. The industry wants you to assume real soap is a premium sacrifice. It isn't. The price difference between a detergent bar and a real Castile soap bar per wash is negligible. What's different is the shelf placement and the marketing budget. The grocery store cheat sheet in our description has the comparison already done. The soap shelf checklist. Does the label say soap? If it says deodorant bar or cleansing bar, the brand made a legal decision not to call it soap. That decision tells you what's inside. Does the box lead with a saponified oil or a synthetic detergent? Anything with saponified coconut oil, sodium cocoate, or sodium palmate is real soap. Any other chemical included is industrial chemistry in a bar shape. Is there a moisturizing claim on the front? If yes, ask whether that moisture was added back in after being removed or whether it was never taken out. Real soap doesn't need a moisturizing claim because saponification produces glycerin naturally. A moisturizing claim on a detergent bar is the brand selling you the antidote to what the bar does. What actually belongs in your shower? 4 brands that never extracted the glycerin, never needed an alternative label, and never had to put a moisturizing claim on the front. Kirk's Castile Bar Soap is the answer that's been hiding in plain sight at Walmart, right next to the Irish Spring 12-pack, within pennies of the same per-bar price. It's made with coconut oil through genuine saponification. You get 4 bars for around $6 and an ingredient list you can read without a chemistry degree. The natural glycerin is still in the bar where saponification put it. Nothing was extracted, nothing was replaced, and no synthetic conditioning agents were added. It's fragrance-free, which means nothing is masking the absence of artificial chemistry. It's been on the shelf next to the detergent bars the whole time and in the same aisle for the same price. Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile Soap is what label transparency actually looks like in practice. The ingredient panel lists water, organic coconut oil, potassium hydroxide, and then footnotes the lie with none remains after saponifying oils into soap and glycerin, because Dr. Bronner's would rather explain the chemistry than let you be confused by an ingredient name that sounds alarming. They make the saponification visible on the label and is EWG verified. The liquid version is 3 times more concentrated, which means a 32-ounce bottle delivers significantly more washes than it looks like, and the per-use cost is competitive with anything in the Dove lineup. This is what a brand looks like when it doesn't have a glycerin extraction business model to protect. Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Bar Soap is the brand for the shopper who's been buying the pretty labeled natural products at Whole Foods and wants to know if any of them are actually soap. Mrs. Meyer's Bar Soap uses saponified oils, plant-derived ingredients, and has no synthetic detergents. It's priced above Kirk's and Dr. Bronner's and worth knowing about because it's at Target, Whole Foods, and most natural grocery stores, which means it's accessible for shoppers who don't make a Walmart or Costco run. The lavender and lemon verbena versions carry essential oil-based scenting rather than synthetic fragrance compounds. It's the real soap option for the shopper who's been buying the classy-looking natural products without always getting the chemistry of it. Puracy Natural Bar Soap rounds out the list for anyone who wants real soap in a modern format without making any lifestyle statements about it. Saponified plant oils, glycerin retained in the finished bar, and no synthetic detergents. It's readily available on Amazon with Prime delivery. The packaging is clean and contemporary without the Dr. Bronner's wall of text. It's the option for the shopper who wants real soap and wants it to arrive with one-day shipping. 70 years ago, the bar soap industry made a manufacturing decision, saponification out, synthetic detergents in, because it was cheaper, more consistent at industrial scale, and easier to build moisturizing and deodorant marketing claims on top of. They extracted the natural glycerin, sold it to the skincare industry, relabeled the bars beauty bars and cleansing bars and deodorant bars, and spent 7 decades hoping the brand name would do enough work that nobody asked what changed. The brands that never ran this playbook cost the same. Their ingredient lists are shorter, their chemistry is older than the companies trying to replace it, and they don't need to sell you a moisturizer because they never removed the thing that made the moisturizer necessary. Most people will keep reaching for the beauty bar because the ad has been in their head since childhood, and the label feels like what they remember. But now you know better. Comment B2E. If you made it to the end, subscribe and become a member to support us, and check out the grocery store cheat sheet. In the description, it's everything we expose on this channel in one printable guide. Thanks for watching.